Hey everybody, Ketwolski here, checking out with another one of our hashtag Star Trek Picard discussions videos. Today we're going to kind of get the conversation started a little bit about what potentially could be going on with the United Federation of Planets in both Star Trek Picard and Star Trek Discovery Season 3. So let's jump into some theories that I have going on. So just to kind of recap, in case some of you guys are a little bit unaware of what's kind of going on with the Federation, it looks as though the Federation has kind of fallen apart a little bit based off of the trailer that we got from Star Trek Discovery Season 3 at New York Comic Con. And it kind of seems like Starfleet may be up to no good based off of the trailer that we got from Star Trek Picard at New York Comic Con. So my theories on that are kind of based off of the fact that Picard goes to visit an Admiral friend at Starfleet headquarters after he is contacted by Dahj, the character of Issa Briones' character from Star Trek Picard, who I believe then gets kidnapped most likely and sent back to that Borg prison cube, but we'll get to that in a second. So he goes to visit this admiral. She basically turns him down, says this isn't his house anymore, and to just go home. Now, this is a pretty standard kind of adventure and sci-fi trope where the protagonist goes to visit the old organization. They tell him, oh, you're retired, and it's not that. Don't worry about it. Just go home. And then they have to go off on the adventure by themselves or kind of with a ragtag team, which is what's going on in Star Trek Picard based off of the trailer. So I'm wondering if the Federation possibly is up to no good during the Picard show, which leads and ties itself into its eventual falling apart / demise about, a couple of hundred, maybe 500, 600, maybe even almost 1,000 years just later. I would say maybe 800 years later. I don't know. I have to do the math between Star Trek Picard and Star Trek Discovery Season 3. But I would say a few hundred years goes by when we get to Star Trek Discovery Season 3. So something happens between what we see now in Picard and in Discovery Season 3 that makes the Federation fall apart. And so I'm wondering if we're starting to see some of the seeds of that inside of the Picard show based off of the trailer. Now, you'd be hard-pressed to convince me that the Romulans are running that Borg prison cube without the Federation having some kind of idea about it. So what I'm thinking is going on is they may be not only just aware of whatever experiments they're doing with the Borg and part of all that, but also possibly they are consenting to it and maybe even supporting it in some ways. And I was kind of thrown a little bit by a line that 7 of 9 said kind of really quickly inside of the second trailer of Picard, where she says that I help people that I think can't help themselves or have no place else to turn to.
I help people who have no one else to help them.
And I think she may be specifically referring to Borg refugees, not necessarily Romulan ones, but I think the Borg are being experimented on post-collective. We see Hugh running around kind of helping Issa Briones' character and Patrick Stewart's character, Picard, inside of the trailer. So I'm wondering if there's some kind of underground resistance to experimentation on the Borg. We did see a Borg kind of ripped apart inside of one of the scenes. So I'm wondering if the Federation is in cahoots in some regards with the Romulan Empire to research Borg technology and maybe violate some of the principles that Starfleet kind of held on to. And then maybe Picard exposing the Federation kind of being a part of all that leads potentially to certain member worlds not maybe wanting to be a part of the Federation. And remember, the Federation is only as good and as strong as the member planets that are attached to it. There is the prime directive, and we always look at it from a perspective of, well, who are we going to let in? But it also goes in the perspective of, well, we can't let anybody out, because the more people that leave the Federation, the less powerful it is, and eventually it will become nothing. And that's kind of what we see inside of Star Trek Discovery Season 3, where the Federation is just a few member planets based off of the flag and a few additional ones, and it doesn't seem to be as, I guess, prominent or as powerful as, was back in, Picard's time frame. Before we end this video today, I do want to go ahead and mention that this is one of my very first sponsored videos. This video is sponsored by TrekSphere.com, one of the premier Trek news websites that I personally use quite often, and I recommend to all of you to start using. They also have sponsorships with several other really great Trek YouTubers, to include Triangulum Studios. So if you guys aren't familiar with that particular channel, you should definitely go check them out as well. But this is the very first sponsored content video that I've got from them, and really just in general. So I'm very excited to be a part of this whole, Trek Sphere community team. And pretty much all of my Picard videos, whether it be theories, news coverage, and really reviews when the show comes out, are all going to be kind of sponsored by Trek Sphere. And then we'll have a few other onesie-twosie videos sponsored by them as well. So I hope that you guys go and check that channel out, and check out the other channels that are being sponsored by TrekSphere as well. Anyways, guys and gals, that wraps up today's video. I am curious to hear what all of you guys and gals think. This is just some theories that were kind of kicking around in my head that I wanted to share with all of you to see if maybe I'm on the money, or if perhaps I'm kind of being crazy, or what other ideas you guys think may be going on. I want to get some conversations going. I love these kinds of chats. It gets the real theory crafty kind of juices flowing. So throw out those ideas down below. Let's get that conversation started, and I'll catch you all next time. Live long and prosper, my trickies.